Hi, thanks so much for being here. Today we are doing yoga for the neck, shoulders and chest. So let's find a comfortable seat to begin. And if you need to sit in a chair, that's absolutely fine. If you're sitting on the ground or on a yoga mat, feel free to elevate your hips up on something like a yoga block or bolster if you have one, maybe just a cushion or a rolled up towel. Anything that allows you to sit with your hips ideally at a 90-degree angle. And we're going to take a moment to either close the eyes down or maybe just soften the gaze. And we'll just check in with our breath for a moment. So letting the breath be completely natural if we can, and just observing our inhale and our exhale. And then just noticing how the body feels. So maybe seeing if we can scan through the body for a moment, just observing any sensations that we come across. And then taking a quick look into the mind. So just acknowledging the mood that we're in or any thoughts that might be present. And we'll gently guide our awareness back to our breath when we're ready. And taking a slightly deeper inhale on our next breath in. Slightly deeper exhale, maybe through the mouth, letting the shoulders soften. As we take a couple more deep breaths, seeing if we can start to fill the belly, maybe even placing one hand or both hands on the belly. Seeing if we can breathe into the hands. Beautiful. And just keeping the breath quite conscious and mindful as we work through our yoga for the next short while, regularly checking in with our breathing. And we're going to begin by taking our right ear towards our right shoulder, just letting the head tilt to the side. And this doesn't have to be a very big movement. You can keep the eyes closed or let there be a soft gaze if the eyes are open. And we really want to feel the weight of the head, so really let go of holding on to the head. Let the head hang heavy. See if you can soften through the left shoulder a little bit. And after our next breath, we'll slowly bring the head through center. And we'll change sides, bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Again, as we focus on the breath reaching the belly and the belly expanding and contracting with air. See if we can really let that head hang heavy and soften the right shoulder. And we'll take our time to slowly bring the head up into center, pausing just for a moment here. And then we'll bring our chin down towards our chest. Same thing, head hangs heavy. And then when we're ready, lifting the head and taking the face up towards the ceiling or the sky. This doesn't need to be a very big movement. We're really looking to elongate through the front of the throat. We don't want to feel any tension in the back of the neck. As we finish our next exhale, let's bring the chin back to center, parallel to the floor. I'm going to do this with the breath a little bit faster. So as you take your next inhale, let's take our right ear towards the right shoulder. We're going to take our whole inhale breath to get to the side. And then as we exhale, let's slowly bring the head back to center. So really timing this movement with the breath if we can. As we inhale, let's take our left ear towards our left shoulder. And as we exhale, we'll take the head back to center. And then inhaling, chin to chest. Exhaling to center. And inhaling, looking upwards, just slightly. Exhaling, head back to center. Beautiful. This time, turn your head over your right shoulder. Chin stays parallel to the ground. Inhale as we turn the head. Exhale as we come back to center. And then going to the other side. Inhale, turning the head over the left shoulder. Exhaling, back to center. Beautiful. Pause here, either letting the gaze soften or closing the eyes. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Beautiful. Let the eyes gently open. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. You can look up if that feels nice. Maybe the fingertips touch. As we breathe out, bring the arms down. See if you can root down through the sitting bones and grow a little bit taller through the crown of the head. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhaling, arms draw down as we grow longer and taller through the spine. 3rd and final round, inhaling the arms up. And as we find this extra length through the spine, really hugging in our lower abdominal muscles. So pulling our belly button towards the top of our pubic bone to keep our lower back in alignment. Beautiful. Let's take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Take a breath in here. As we breathe out, twisting just as far as feels comfortable. Your right fingertips or hand can come behind the back. Beautiful. Take another breath in here. As we breathe out, let's slowly unwind. Beautiful. Let's swap sides. Right hand to the left knee or thigh. Inhale. Take the left hand behind you. Start to twist. Breathe out here. Take one more breath in. And then exhale. Come back into center. Beautiful. And we're going to move into our all fours position now. So gently making your way down, and as always, please feel free to place a blanket or towel or some extra cushioning under your knees if your knees feel sensitive here. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. As we breathe in, let the belly soften. Head can look forwards or up as we gently arch the spine. Exhale to reverse that. Hug the belly in, round out through the back, tuck the chin. Good. One more time. Inhale, let the belly soften. Exhale, contract. Let's inhale back into a neutral spine, making sure we're engaging our lower abdominal muscles. The lower back isn't collapsing. We're holding our center strong. We're going to keep our left hand down on our mat. As we breathe in, let's take the right arm up towards the sky, spinning the chest open. As we breathe out, we're going to thread the right fingers down and underneath our chest, through the space between our arm and leg, and we'll see if maybe we can bring the back of our right arm, maybe the side of our head, resting down on the ground. If the head doesn't reach the ground, that's okay. You can just hold the head above the ground. We're not going to stay for very long. Option, if you feel quite secure here, to take your left arm, maybe it reaches up towards the ceiling, maybe it wraps behind the back to give that shoulder a bit of an extra stretch. Try to make sure that your hips are square and they haven't come over to the side. So push the hips towards the back end of the mat. One more breath in here. As you breathe out, slowly return that left hand to the mat if it's not already there. And we'll press our way up into our all fours position. Let's take one round of our cat and our cow, breathing in. Let the belly soften as we gently arch through the spine. Exhaling, contracting. And inhale to a neutral spine. This time the right hand stays down on the ground. As you breathe in, take the left arm up, spin the chest open. As you breathe out, thread the left fingers down through the space between your arm and leg, gently seeing if maybe we can lower the back of that left arm, maybe the side of the left head down to the ground as well. Option to take your right arm up towards the sky. Maybe it wraps behind the lower back, squaring the hips, breathing deeply. We slowly begin to unwind. Let's exhale that right hand down. As we inhale, press back up into that all four shape. We're going to take one more round of cat and cow. Breathe in, let the belly soften. Breathe out, round out through the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to neutral spine, tuck the toes, place the hands forward slightly, and just for one breath, we're going to lift the hips high towards our downward dog. Bring the chest open here. As we take our time, we'll slowly lower the knees. Sit the hips back to the heels, find a child's pose, maybe widening the knees slightly so that the belly can hang down between the thighs, and we can take 2 to 3 deep breaths here, stretching the arms forwards to open up through the shoulder joint. You're going to take your time to gently draw yourself forwards. We're going to drop down onto the forearms, keeping the forearms in line with the shoulders and maybe just walking the knees back in line with the hips if they're not already there. And just like we do in our cow pose, let's just soften the chest and let the back arch gently here. And this might feel enough, this might feel good, so you may just stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper into this, you can slide the knees back a little bit further and you can start to extend the arms, bringing the chest, maybe the forehead or the chin, down to the ground as the sitting bones lift a little bit higher. Beautiful. We're slowly going to draw the fingertips back, bringing the hips towards the heels as we just drop down to a bit of a child's pose to roll up through the spine. Coming to stack the spine tall. Beautiful. From here, I'd like you to reach your right arm up, fingertips stretching tall. And as we reach up through the fingertips, hugging in our lower abdominal muscles, so just making sure that we don't arch through the back. We're going to drop this right hand down behind the back of the neck, the shoulder, wherever it comfortably comes to reach. We'll take our left arm out to the side and then we'll wrap that left arm either behind the back. If you feel enough of a shoulder stretch here, this can be enough. Or if you want to work on stretching your fingertips towards each other, you may even be able to touch or maybe hook fingers. You may not. So just see where this feels enough. We want to feel something. We want to feel a bit of a stretch, and we want to allow the chest to open without misaligning our spine. So be really mindful that as we stretch the arms and open the chest, we're not popping the chest open and arching our back. So we're hugging the belly button in towards the top of the pubic bone and hugging the lower ribs in. Then we draw up through the crown of the head and sink down through the tailbone. One more breath here, and we're gently going to release when you're ready. Let the arms just come to hang down by the side of the body. And then when you're ready, we'll do the other side, taking the left arm up. Take a moment to reach tall through the fingertips. Hug in your center, hug in the lower ribs, but then try to find length. Let the left hand come to rest on the neck, the shoulder, wherever it comfortably comes to. The right arm reaches out to the side. And without changing the alignment or our posture, we can either wrap that right arm behind the back, or maybe we see if the fingers want to walk up the back. Maybe the fingers walk towards each other. Okay. Maybe we hook, maybe not. It's entirely up to you. And as we gently stretch the muscles of the arms, the shoulders, and the chest, keep lengthening up through the crown of the head, drawing down through the sitting bones and the tailbone. Hug the lower abdominal muscles in. Beautiful. At the end of your next breath, let's slowly release the hands. And again, let the arms just hang for a moment. And then you can make your way off your knees. Let's come down onto our back. So scoot yourself down if you're on your mat, or just make sure there's space behind you to come down onto your back. Maybe hugging the knees into the chest for a moment. That might feel nice. And it may even feel good just to rock the lower back side to side or around in circles for a moment. When you're ready to place the feet down, about hip width apart on the mat, engaging all four corners of the feet. And we're going to lay the hands down by the side of the body, and I'd like you to press your lower back down into the ground so that you feel the hips sort of shift and tuck under. From this tucked under position, press down through the feet. The hips should float up and then continue to roll up through the spine, just as high as feels comfortable. Coming towards our bridge pose now. And you may like to interlace your fingers underneath your back. Maybe walk the shoulders or the elbows in towards one another for a little bit more lift. Keep pressing down through all four corners of the feet and pull the knees and shins forwards. Good. Take another breath or so here. As we take our next exhale, let's gently release the arms, rolling down nice and slowly. And just allow your lower back to settle as it makes contact with the ground. And then from here, bring the soles of the feet together, open your knees out to the sides. Just meeting in Supta Baddha Konasana for a moment. Hands can rest on the hips or on the belly. And as we just take a moment to observe any sensations in the body, collect ourselves. And just observe any tension that we don't need to be holding around the chest and shoulders. See if we can let the body soften for a moment here. And if this feels really nice, or if you would like to just stay lying down where you are now or in another position, then of course, please take the time to do that. And if you're ready to finish your practice, then you're welcome to bring the hands together at the heart center. Just taking one final breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.